nerds, just sitting around talking about stuff. The Burg nerds, this is the Burg nerds, just sitting around talking about shit.
Hello, friends and fellow nerds, and welcome back to another episode of the Burg Nerds, the only podcast whose combined weight is actually higher than the state Powerball.
We is bona fide.
We are fat. That whole spill just stems from the fact that I never stop to fucking consider what I'm gonna say when I start the episode.
Take that.
So
back.
usually I'm just making it up on the fly as I go, so it doesn't.
Take that stupid thing back to Jeff, and he'd be like, "Oh, I think it's working."
Actually, Eddie has a pretty good Jeff impression. Let's hear Jeff from Doo-Wop Shop in Frankfurt.
Well, how you doing, friend? Why are you bringing that back for?
No, you didn't pull your collar of your shirt down so your chest hair peeks out.
Oh, there we go. That's a lot better. I think there's a breeze in there.
Talk about Rush just a little bit.
So, have you heard that new Rush song? I think it was called Tom Sawyer.
Do they have a new song?
No, well, they just remastered Tom Sawyer. It's pretty good. It's a really tasty lick. You want to listen?
He's a dick sucker. I hate that motherfucker.
That's pretty awesome. You're the dick sucker, Jeremy.
Not even in fuck
Friend?
that guy. Fuck you, Jeff. Fuck you, Eddie, for doing Jeff in the butt.
Oh, what?
All right, guys. So how was everybody's week?
Been pretty decent.
Yeah.
Sorry I missed out on the last show. It was due to a lack of sleep.
That's okay. You were kind of here in the
Oh
back.
yeah, we
You
got
were
to do
in
your
the
wrestling
background.
thing too.
Okay.
I think you just missed the bus. That's it. You completely missed the bus. That ship is sailed, Joey. You don't get a mulligan.
Your parents
Okay.
will have to drop you off
Fair
at
enough.
school now because you missed the bus.
They gave me $1 to drop me off at the parking ride.
So how was your week, Jordan?
Same shit, beating off and going to work.
There you go.
That's it.
That's a
You're
win.
ever in a constant state of either masturbating or going to
Going
work
to
or
work.
leaving work.
And sleep.
You'd be really good at pottery.
I am actually.
I enjoy pottery.
I actually am good with ceramics.
Eddie, how was your week, buddy?
It was actually all right.
Lee, how was your week, man?
Mine was good. I've become ergonomic, and I masturbate on the way to work.
Oh, that's good. I'm sorry I switched to you so quickly and put you on the spot. It's just that I felt and I do feel
You were going
like
to sleep.
every time we go to Eddie, I feel like we're losing the audience. It's not anything against you, Eddie. It's just that you're so fucking boring.
Yeah. But anyways, so
Fuck, this headphone amp is just pissing me off. I fucking hate it so bad. It keeps making noise. And it's not even in the recording. Like, they're not going to hear this in the final cut. It's just the fact that I got to fucking hear this shit all the way through the recording. It sounds like a bunch of amps, like ants having an orgy or something.
it's $12 a month of popping.
All right, Eddie. So I'm not. So I don't take over Jordan's spot as the villain on the show. Why don't you just go ahead and tell us what your fucking week was about?
Well,
And if you're gonna go, if you wanted something to drink or a snack while you're listening to this, to now would be a great time to go get it. And Jordan actually left.
So anyways, my week was going all right until last night. I had my cell phone and I was gonna go. And I had my cell phone in my hand and I set it on the counter of the sink and I was brushing my teeth and I accidentally knocked my cell phone into the toilet.
Wow,
And
there went our last listener. The first and the last listener.
So, but the thing is, I have a new phone coming in the mail tomorrow.
Oh, that's good. Is
Yeah.
it a smartphone?
No, still
No.
the same
Why the
feature
fuck
phone.
would it be?
See,
Why
I'm
don't
not,
you text message?
I'm not the
I
last
don't.
holdout.
You're
for a
so
smartphone.
no. Hang on, like, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but fuck. Okay.
Because
I'm trying to send
Eddie
out a
still
mass-
believes in talking to people. Thank goodness. I
No,
will
that's-
stand by Eddie on this one.
Thank you, Jordan.
No, that's fine. I just don't. When I want to throw out a show idea or something, or talk about something that we can all share in, I don't want to fucking have like a 5-way call, and I don't want to call all of you motherfuckers individually. So it's just as easy to send a text, and like I send a text out to Jordan, Joey, and Lee, and I can't send Eddie a text. Fuck, man, it's 2014. Why can't you get it? People have been text messaging for like 12 years. Why the hell can't you get it together, man? I mean, what's going on there? What's the story?
I really enjoy a
Oh, God.
$85 phone bill for my wife and myself. I really like it, and I have free internet.
I pay $35 a month.
42.
Yeah. Angie and I have data. Angie and I have very nice smartphones and data and a plan together, and we pay $120.
Yeah, see, that's too much for me.
But we have data. It's just text message. You can add text messaging for like $5.
Yeah, but my contract was up in like 2012, and I
No.
don't want to re-up it again.
Actually,
No.
most phone plans have it unlimited.
Are you still
No.
with VoiceStream?
PowerTel.
PowerTel.
Bluegrass Cellular.
Email works really nicely. I enjoy the email.
He got that Boost mobile phone.
Yeah, but the thing
Hey, I got
is,
Boost.
We got games.
yeah,
The
but
only thing I know about Boost is that Aqua Teen Hunger Force about when it was bouncing up and down, go text message.
Jeffy's house.
Jeffy's house.
the only thing I know about Boost Mobile is those wonderful commercials that they had. Do you remember those
Where you at?
where the Korean guy is like rapping in the mirror or whatever in the bathroom, and then some guy walks out of the stall and he gets real quiet and goes, "Hi." Like it just kind of like cuts him off. That might have been Amped. Might have been Boost. I don't know.
Cricket. I don't know.
It was one of the two. But it's so difficult. I mean, the email's fine. Like I'll send you an email, and then I'll get a reply the next day.
It works.
Which no, it
Well,
doesn't-
Jeremy,
That's
that's
how I
more
am
than
with
I did this
Facebook.
week, so I apologize for that. I
What's
haven't
that?
been at work.
Oh no, that's fine. It's
Smoke signal would almost be faster than.
Yeah, no, it would. Yeah,
It
Like,
would for me on Facebook, actually.
Yeah.
I could see that.
You're such a hipster about Facebook.
No, I
You
just don't
really are.
fucking look.
I sent Jordan a message in February of 2011, and he saw it the other day. It said check mark, seen it 332.
3 years later.
It could have been help.
I have a couple in there from 2 years ago. I
Like
haven't
you
replied
asked Jordan, it's like, Jordan, do you use Facebook? He's like, no, I use Friendster.
Is that a thing?
It was like
I don't-
8 years ago.
to. No, I still use Live Journal.
Jordan's really big.
Oh,
into
you
the-
still have a live journal?
Yeah.
When I
No.
was in college,
No.
I had a live journal. Like
I think
last-
I think everybody's Live Journal's still up. Just
I had a live journal last year because I would post all my homework assignments on it, all the papers I had to write for English and what have you, like all my homework on it. So I permanently have a copy online that I could access anywhere.
I still got a GeoCities page.
A GeoCities.
Nice.
Did you use? Do you have to use web crawler to find it?
Web crawler, a dog pile,
Dog
Do
pile.
you have any Angel Fire?
Angel Fire.
Lycos.
XGs.
Some Netscape Navigator.
Wow. So I mean, what are we talking about? These guys like this week. I know Jordan's he's really fucking pissed. Like he's sends me. Like I just picture him like hunkered down over top of his computer like it's an old fucking clackety typewriter. And he's like writing an angry letter to like toothpaste manufacturers. Like he's sitting here like I've got so much. I'm so
Bunch
angry
of
about
Colgate
video games."
toothpaste.
Made me feel like shit.
See, Jordan has already had to replace the keyboard to his computer twice this week.
It's not a typewriter. You don't have to clack on it.
God, it sounds like a baseball game and then just hitting the ball.
You gotta do your Walking Dead shit. I can go into my game shit later.
Yeah, so The Walking Dead season 5 trailer
Yeah.
I don't got
showed
pregnant.
us absolutely nothing.
It was
Zero.
It was a very meaty trailer. It was really good.
Calm down.
No, I mean,
Jesus Christ Almighty.
It had nothing in it.
it had a lot of
Eddie's
stuff.
nose
It
is-
was a
Do I fucking sound like that?
Eddie's nose is bleeding right now.
It was a 3-minute plus trailer.
Okay,
That was
okay.
beefy
Now
as
why don't you
hell.
go ahead and show me and explain to me any kind of inkling that trailer gave you into what we can expect out of season 5.
It was
Go
a,
ahead.
It was a very thrilling trailer. It goes into things in regards to
Wow, that in no way addressed the question that I just asked you.
I'm-
Answer the question, you son of a bitch.
It's hard to talk to a dick. Okay, I'm sorry. It's hard to talk to.
Yeah,
a dick.
I'm sure you talk into a lot of dicks. You hold them like this, and you're like, I love you so much. I'm
No matter what I say, no matter what I say, you're gonna go.
No, don't get me wrong, man. The trailer, like it was meaty. I think was the adjective you used, which is fine. Like it had a lot of action in it and stuff, but it gave us nothing as to what to expect from season 5, and you can't deny that.
Nothing regarding storyline whatsoever.
And I did not see one can of pudding.
Yeah, well,
Well, actually,
I
no.
don't
I'm sorry,
care.
Eddie. I stand corrected. I
Why
think
they gag Daryl's head?
I think it showed us Negan. I think it showed us Negan.
it didn't show a Negan.
Yeah, no, it did.
No,
That was the guy when they were like, "We don't trust this guy."
no, Negan's not in this one.
Actually,
He's
they
not-
did confirm that they did want him in season 5.
Wow.
Right, But there's nobody for him yet, and he's not gonna be in it.
I read a fucking article where he's been casted, Edwin.
I read a lot of articles myself, but he's not gonna be in it.
Not in season 5. I'm sorry. They said they wanted to cast him after season 5.
This podcast is fucking derailed.
I'm
All
done.
we've done is
Bye.
scream the
I'm
entire
out.
fucking time.
I'm just saying, though. I mean, in all honesty, it's a very
Okay, well, thank you then, Eddie, by telling me that Negan has not been casted yet, and he's not going to be in season 5, and he was not shown in the trailer. That just illustrates the point that this fucking trailer didn't give us a damn thing.
I'm done.
Rick's looking awful greasy. That made me laugh.
He needs a shower, man.
They all need to
No,
shower.
but I don't think it showed us anything as far as the story.
Well, you know what? Fair enough.
Okay, so what is anybody current on the comic? I know Lee is. Lee, you're fairly current,
I'm
right?
close.
6 or 7 episodes
Yeah.
or episodes issues.
Yeah.
I think I'm about 10. I'm about 10 off, 11 off, something like that. I gotta say that, like, I want to see Alexandria. Like, I want them to find Alexandria in this episode. Like, I thought when they initially started showing the train track shit from season 4,
I thought that's where they
I
were
thought it was
going.
gonna. Yeah, I did too. But they called it Terminus. I was like, oh, well, it's just like TV. They'll change the fucking name just for the sake of changing the fucking name. And I thought they were saying Terminus was going to be like the new Alexandria or whatever.
My question to you guys is, the whole cannibal thing that's going on with Terminus, is this something that is translated from the comics into
Yes.
the show?
Yes,
Yes.
loosely
Yeah,
translated. Yeah,
Because
Because they did the same thing. Sorry to cut you off,
Oh, you're
but
good.
they said on
don't be
on
sorry,
the,
it's Eddie.
okay, the video game, the Telltale game, there is a very brief moment where there is some cannibalism.
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
that was in it was two. Remember the two guys that were running Lookout or whatever, and they
Yeah.
were to scout people and bring them back. That was the cannibal group, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
there
Yeah,
was
so
like
it's
five.
loosely based. I mean, it wasn't like the tracks led to a fucking
But
cannibal
it's-
camp or whatever.
Yeah, but as soon as you seen the barbecue last season, you knew what the fuck was going on.
oh yeah.
You
It
know,
was just a
you
matter
walk
of time.
into what's supposed to be. I mean, you have signs pointing everywhere to come to this place, and it's barren. There's no
Yeah.
people.
Well,
That
like how
right
many
there-
fucking cows are left? They're not cooking sides of beef. you
And,
know?
Right.
and here's the thing: the gates are wide open, and there's no security whatsoever.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, welcome."
Well, that's the thing. And I think they did that just to show you that if the gates are open and there's nothing going on, like these are clearly the most dangerous people. The walkers and looters are no longer the most dangerous people in the area. It's now these fucks.
Well, it's like in the comic book. I mean, the cannibals, the hunters, and there's like 5 of them, and Dale gets the last laugh on them because in the comic, Dale.
Now, I think everybody in the world got the last laugh
I
on
know,
old Dale.
but Dale though was bitten, and
Right.
they
Yeah.
ate his leg.
and they got infected.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
pretty cool.
I mean, and he's like, ha ha ha, and he cussed him out and stuff, and it was great.
See, I had no idea what happened to Dale in the comics.
No, that's an awesome way to go out.
He replaced Herschel with Dale. And
Yeah, that's exactly what
the
happened, pretty
storyline.
much.
Did
Yeah.
they cut off his leg?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah,
Dale's
yeah, they
leg
cut
got
off.
Dale's leg got cut off.
Yeah, that was Dell's leg in the comic. That's
okay.
why remember that was my big spiel. Like when we first started the show, it's in like episode 1 or 2 or something. I was talking about like television and how when they adapt, whether it be like a comic or a novel or something, they just seems like they change things just for the sake of changing things. Like, well, we really like the idea of an old man, and we really like the idea of an old man losing his leg, but we can't make it this guy. It needs to be another guy. Like, why not just?
I'll give them
I mean-
this with the show. How they've translated some stuff. I'm not very far into the comic series at all.
Yeah.
But I have seen how Herschel was ended in the comics. And while it wasn't exactly the same, they kept it pretty close to it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of things they just can't change because the fanboys will like completely. I mean, the fanboys are always going to be pissed about The Walking Dead, but I've learned to just accept it. Like, I really enjoy the television show, and if you just can get your head around the fact that it's never going to be the comic, it's never going to be anything like it. It's nothing like it. A comic is nothing like a TV show in any way. You know, I mean, that's all you got to do is just really get out of your own head about it.
And that's the thing I like about it is I like the fact that it's its own separate universe,
Yeah.
and yet they borrow some things from it. Because there's the thing: if they follow the comic book, then everyone's gonna be like,
I know what's going to
happened."
happen. Yeah.
And I like if they change it up and they throw different things out there. Because here's the thing: if you just follow the comic book, you're not going to get into the moment. I think they do a great job with the character development and everything that goes into it.
I completely disagree because there's movies based on books that people can go out and fucking read and they never do. And they're like, this movie is great. No, it's fucking not.
Well, see, like, you probably subscribe to the same train of thought that I do. Like, when it comes to comic book movies, it's hard for me to really say with 100% conviction that any comic book film is bad, because I've been reading these characters, my entire life, and then to see them actually come alive on the screen, who gives a fuck if the story's off or if they did this or that? It's just awesome to finally see the fucking, Fantastic Four that was so universally hated, and I was like, who gives a shit? The fucking thing is 25 feet tall on a fucking movie screen, and it's awesome.
Michael Chiklis, man.
The creative liberties that they're able to take, sometimes it's a double-edged sword. I mean, sometimes a movie or a movie based off of a book will be okay. Most of the time, in my personal opinion, it's not. I'll say that after having finally read The Green Mile and then reading seeing the actual movie, they did a pretty damn good job on that, and that's my humble opinion.
Absolutely. Sometimes the filmmakers can actually do better than the original story. Case in point, Shawshank Redemption. I thought the movie was way better than the novella. Same with The Mist. The ending that Darabont. Ending that Darabont wrote was way better. Stephen King even said, I wish I'd thought of that ending.
Not everything can be Dreamcatcher.
That movie was a stack of shit. That book was awesome. The book was amazing. Actually, the book is my third or fourth favorite Stephen King book ever, but the movie was a piece of shit.
I forgot about Dreamcatcher until you just mentioned it.
You talk about Stephen King. I like Pet Cemetery and the book.
Damn trucks.
Yeah,
I like both. That was goddamn wrong. That's goddamn wrong. It's all
Thank you, Mr. Munster.
Mr. Munster lives across the street, dear. Awesome.
Well, that's the thing, is that's the fickle fanboy fuckface nature, is that if it's just like the comic book, the fanboys are going to be like, it's so predictable, I'm not watching it. And if it's not like the comic, they're like, this is bullshit, it's not as good as the comic. So, what are you going to do?
It's like, I go back to this sometimes on the first Transformers movie. It was hearing the people in the theater the first time I saw it going, Megatron didn't turn into a plane. He turned into a gun.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up.
He turned into a grill.
He turned into a Luger.
Yeah.
Are you a grill?
This 30-foot tall robot turned into a Luger.
What if Megatron was a grill, Joey?
What if Megatron, yeah.
Yeah, you talk about fanboys complaining regardless, but you have to look at The Walking Dead. Season 1 and 2 did not follow the comics. I mean, they had certain characters that came out.
Right, yeah.
Season 3 almost followed the comic books page by page, and then they steered away from it in 4, and now coming up to 5.
With the exception of introducing characters that weren't in the comic, I think Season 1 was fairly close to the comic book. I mean,
starting out, the hospital,
right? Yeah.
Don't Dead open inside on the doors.
Yeah.
Why can't the rest? Like I said, I haven't kept up since Season 3, but I know since I saw the pilot, nothing was as good as the pilot. The pilot was really good.
No, I beg to differ. I think
that's me though.
Yeah.
I wish they would start showing the black and white episodes. They put all the season 1 in black and white,
that was
and it made them even better. I loved it.
I caught one of those, and it had a real Romero feel. It's just it's really weird that if you take a zombie film and just automatically desaturated it, you automatically think it's a Romero film. I turned it on, I was like, it's The Walking Dead in black and white.
Do you think they did that as kind of a homage to the comics?
I think so.
Yeah, that would be my guess. Yeah, because they're all black and white. That's another thing to remember. The Walking Dead comic book was so good that it made everyone not even really pay attention to the fact that it was just ink. It was just black ink. The entire comic was black and white. It's
awesome. And one of the things I love about The Walking Dead is, they say, they don't use the word zombie in it because, and this was really cool that Nicotero said it. He was like, they don't use the word zombie because the Romero universe never existed.
Right.
So they don't know of the word. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, Romero never used the word zombie either.
I like how each different kind of I call it a tribe that they've run into, like Rick's group, have had different names for them.
Yeah, that was the comic
The
was
biters,
like that too.
the
Yeah,
walkers,
Yeah, the shitters.
Yeah.
Shitters.
That's only when Eddie's talking. That's only when Eddie has the floor.
Spinners. Oh wait, that was a roller skating rink.
The champs.
The Warriors.
Thumpers.
Oh boy.
Furries.
Well, speaking of, no,
The bronies are
outside, you son of a bitch.
Baseball furries.
It's Fury.
Warriors.
Who calls
Why is that bee chasing me? That fuzzy unicorn's chasing me with a ball bat.
So Comic Con is not coming up at all. Not
Is
really at all. But
Is that going on
Now,
Okay,
yes.
I haven't
Yeah.
kept up.
Started
with
yesterday.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot that went on
it. You
yesterday.
mean Line Con?
Line
yeah,
Con.
Yeah.
stand in line. Con.
Yeah.
That's where the Walking Dead trailer came
Now, is this SD?
Comic Con has nothing
Yes.
to do
Yeah,
with
it's
comics
the Comic-Con.
anymore.
They have the cowl and the cape of
Yeah, I saw that.
Batfleck on display.
It looks good. I thought it looked
does.
good. Yeah.
It's
I
gonna
don't know
be
why
great.
everybody's so bent out of shape about Batfleck. Zack Snyder chose him to be in it. So
He's going to kill
I'm not
somebody and
gonna
go, bong, bitch.
It's like somebody just shit in your cereal.
look at these two morose motherfuckers right here, and it pans over, and you see Superman and like the fucking like what's his name?
Aquaman.
Yeah.
He's going to be in the movie.
I hope
That's how
not.
important he is.
That's the thing about Comic Con, though, man. I've never been. Like, I've never even
I don't
pretended to be.
ever want to go.
But basically, if you don't have the way I understand it is, if you're not a VIP, you don't have a VIP pass.
You're waiting in line for 5 hours.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere. Like it's not. And there's no telling how much tickets are. That's insanity.
And it's on the other side of the fucking country.
Yeah, the Berg nerds need to be
It's
Comic Con 2015.
San Diego.
We need to be
in.
invited to go to Comic Con. That's how we'll
I
get
can't
in.
imagine how much booth space was. Like, we got booth space at Lexington Comic Con, and we're like flipping couch cushions and trying to find money
Well,
for it.
Dude, that Kentucky Ocon, that little small thing, it's like at the hotel off of Newtown Pike. It's like, dude, the booth rental is more expensive than Lexington Comic Con.
Wow.
I
Who's
looked
going
it
to
up,
be
and I was
there?
like,
I've never even heard
Well,
of
they
this.
only have 3 booth space, so they have to make their money back.
They got to rotate.
And one of them's taken by fucking George Takei.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's taken by the White Ranger.
Which one?
Whichever one's the MMA fighter now.
Frank,
Oh, I
David,
would-
Jason.
Jason
They-
David Frank is awesome. I would.
Frank Mike Douglas. Douglas.
Douglas.
Wait, hey Jordan, who's the White Ranger?
Jason David Frank.
Why was that funny?
Because he was the Green Ranger, too.
Because I was expecting
Was he?
someone else.
Oh,
to say,
yeah.
But it was good. That made me laugh even worse. I love it.
Yeah, so we're going to be at Lexington Comic Con, Lexington Comic and Toy Convention, March
Something
the something.
of the 2000.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it when we get there. But
The 15th year.
Did you
of
contact
2000.
them and tell them to change this to exhibitor instead of vendor?
Yeah, I sent an email. I just
Okay.
haven't heard anything. They've been doing a lot of like announcements, so I'm sure this is like a really busy week for them.
Okay, because we need to put a synopsis up too, or whatever you want to call it.
because we all know the busiest week of putting a convention together is like 7 months out. So.
Dude, they're doing a lot of announcements right now. And they're doing a lot of bookings. So
I want Cornette next to us.
So anyway, speaking of fanboy fuck faces and whatnot that we were speaking of, here's an organic segue. What was that you were saying, Eddie? Marvel released, what was it, 8 upcoming titles?
they didn't release the titles. They released the dates for movies, but they wouldn't say what they were for. And
Black Panther was on that list. Like, why is that a thing?
I have no idea.
Inhuman was on it, though.
Doctor Strange is one.
Doctor Strange.
And they're thinking about Joaquin Phoenix is
Yeah.
is the lead for that cast.
Okay,
Which
I'm
I
okay
could be
with
I
cool
could
with
see that.
Can he not do the hair lip? 'Cause
Well,
you
Doctor-
knew that was coming,
well,
didn't you,
Doctor
George?
Strange has a mustache anyway, so it'll kinda
Oh,
help
perfect.
out.
Sinister Six is on the fence. They
Yeah.
they have been for months.
But they announced of course they've already announced Age of Ultron, the new Avengers. They've also announced Avengers 3 is going to be the Avengers Civil War. So they're going to start with the Civil War angle, which, fucking finally, I think, in my opinion, that's the last good story that Marvel's really done, I think. That's the last time I actually read anything from Marvel, really, was the Civil War storyline. I thought it was awesome. It was just a great idea, and then all the main characters during their individual books kind of tied into it and stuff, and it was wonderful. And I can't wait to see how that's going to go to film. I think it's going to be cool.
And then they have, of course, Hulk Civil War. They have a
Yeah.
prequel with Iron Man. They've announced Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
That one's slated for 2018.
What did you just say?
Amazing Spider-Man 3,
Oh, yeah. For what year?
2018.
That seems a little
It
get
long,
seems,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, they got so
I
much.
think they're going
coming
to
out
push
right
it
now.
forward, though. Ant-Man keeps getting pushed back. Who gives a shit?
I saw the poster.
I want a Green Lantern ring.
I got to be honest, man. I'm not really interested in Ant-Man anymore now
No.
that Edgar Wright has nothing to do with it.
I saw the
what I
poster.
want
it looks
here
cool.
now.
I just don't know, man. Like Hank Pym is.
Is it
I mean,
I
what are you
thought
gonna
I'd
do?
heard that with Ant-Man that they gave that to, or not gave, but James Gunn was be working on that.
I think
He's gonna be working on Ant-Man.
Yeah.
I think it is James Gunn.
Well, it was originally supposed to be Edgar Wright of Shaun of the Dead and Scott Pilgrim.
I'll be honest, I'm not opposed to that.
To James Gunn doing it?
Yeah.
No, I'm not either. He's a wonderful filmmaker.
Yeah.
Who made Scott Pilgrim?
Edgar Wright was the director.
That's a fun movie.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
I thought it was wonderful.
I watched it over at your house, and it was like I was like, "This is fun, Jeremy," and you're like, "Get out!"
Like, why are you here?
Minus the,
I'm trying to watch this movie, and you just walk in and sit down.
I can't stand the lead actor in that movie. I just can't.
Michael Cera.
Yeah,
He
translates
almost ruined
good.
it.
He translates okay to it, but blah.
He's Michael Cera in every
At least he
movie.
wasn't trying to Michael Cera it up. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he did a little, but it could have been way worse. Scott
Like-
Pilgrim was a blast. It watched like a fucking video game, like you're watching a
Mhm.
video game.
Like we've talked about the Hulk before with Edward Norton. I really enjoyed that one, but it was Edward Norton as
Edward
Edward Norton playing the Hulk or
That's
Bruce
any
Banner.
that's any Edward Norton movie though.
Yeah.
Speaking of Michael Cera also does the voice of Brother Bear from the Berenstain Bears. Just to let you know.
Wow, that's thank you.
You're welcome.
No, seriously, I can go on living my life
And
now.
speaking of Ed Norton, they're doing a sequel to Fight Club.
I thought it was just supposed to be a comic.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be a comic. It's not going to be a movie yet.
No.
The comic's
Well.
going to be released next year.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry.
Threw Curly Bill on you, Eddie.
What?
He got Curly Bill all over you. Well,
William Brocious.
bye.
Well, bye. Anyways.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Who cares? There's already fanboys like, no, don't do it. You wouldn't.
That's why they should do it.
Yeah, it's a comic. Who gives a fuck? 25 people are going to read it. No one reads comics anymore.
And it's Chuck
We do.
Palahniuk.
Well, yeah, that's it. This is 5 of the 25 that are going to read it.
I really hope they actually do a movie. Hopefully before freaking Hugh Jackman gets too old. But I've really been into the 3 Months to Die, the Mortal Wolverine comic books, and I think that would be one hell of a good movie to go into because in September is the actual death of Wolverine, and coming up later this month is the 1 month to die
Okay,
issue.
for all of our listeners listening, I'm going to go ahead and give you a helpful tip here, okay? And that is, when it comes to comic books, please disregard anything Eddie has to say about comic books. This motherfucker did not buy one Stone Cold Steve Austin comic.
I knew this.
He didn't buy 2 Stone Cold Steve Austin comics.
He bought the whole run.
You
didn't
bought the whole run, did you not? 4 Stone. 4. You bought 4. I thought it was 3.
Yeah, it was worth it.
You're about as credible to comics as Movie Bob is to movies.
Gene Shalit. Bye.
From the nice guy, Jim Challen.
Hey, Moonlight.
Even the devil himself would love this angel hair pasta.
I'm excited because I'm expecting a call from Moonlight because they've ordered issues 1 through 6 of the.
Okay, let
Wolverine
me tell you
format.
this. Let me get serious for a minute. It's not about. Okay, it's a little about the. It's a little about you reading the Stone Cold Steve Austin comics. It's a little about that. But here's the thing: you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna try to get back into comics," which is great. I encourage that. But here's the thing: you won't take any advice on the books I want you to read.
You haven't told me anything.
I've told you a lot of shit. Don't you
Like?
shut your fucking mouth.
Like
Two.
what?
I've told you a lot of
The
stuff.
only thing you've told me was, "Hey, you want to buy this issue of Carnage and Spider-Man?"
No, I didn't say that at all. No, I would never say that to anyone. No one should buy that.
I almost bought it.
You did, didn't you? You bought a bunch of Carnage Spider-Man stuff, didn't you?
No, I bought Deadpool versus Carnage 1 through 4.
Oh, you're talking about that first Carnage that I was trying to get. That I was
Yeah.
trying to peddle. Yeah, well, I wound up peddling it anyway.
I know.
But no, you see, here's the thing, Lee. Like, I gave Lee some tips and stuff. This is so asshole-ish of me. Read comics, but only read the ones that I want you to read so we can talk about them. Because I don't have anybody to talk comics with. I really don't, and I'm real selective. Like with games and movies, I'm real selective about what I read.
I'm a weekly visitor over to Moonlight, anyways. It's fun. I like going over there and just like, ooh, this looks good.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll be sure to exclude you from any future conversations we have about the awesome comics. Did I go wrong with any comic I suggested you?
2 out of 3 were great.
2 out of what was the one you didn't like?
Lock and Key.
Oh
Lock
yeah,
Key.
no. But
It-
I
it
think
just-
I kind of told you that there's a chance you might not.
The
Right?
only reason I didn't like it is it jumped around too much.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I had 3 or 4 issues after that, I could have kind of got my bearings and,
Yeah.
and figured out where it was.
Well, I think you had to read Welcome to Lovecraft. Was that the one you bought, the first book?
Yeah.
Welcome? Okay, it was, and you didn't. Okay. Well, you know who wrote that, right?
No.
That's Joe Hill, as in Joe Hill King, Stephen King's
Is that
son.
Mr. Hill's boy?
That's Stephen King's son, actually, who wrote that.
Okay.
I thought it was really well done. I mean, maybe I missold you on that, but anyway, I'm done bitching. Okay, Eddie, you got free range. Go ahead and say
Free
what you're gonna
range.
say.
I'm a chicken now.
Yeah, do whatever you want with your
Well,
life.
So as we were talking about earlier, the season 5 trailer was released for The Walking Dead. You can go online; it's about a 3-minute plus trailer. We're going to discuss about our what?
Okay, look, I'm going to cut you off again. You're promoting a trailer that already has like 7 million views.
Hey, some people don't know.
Why don't you use this time to promote this show?
Because we're
Instead
on
of
the
being
air
on
right
next
now.
week's episode, why don't you go hand out pamphlets
We don't have any.
for this?
We don't have any.
Oh, that's right, we're out.
We have those shitty slips I've made over at Office Depot.
So, what are our predictions for season 5?
I think they're going to find Alexandria, and they're not going to find it till the last 5 minutes of the season finale, because that's how they do shit. They show you something fucking cool, and it's within the last 5 minutes of the very last fucking episode.
Yep.
Fuck it.
Yeah. It'll be this time next year that we're gearing up for
Yes. Alexandria. Yeah. I think they're going to escape in 3 episodes from this place, and then they're going to be on the road for 13 episodes, and then at the end of it, they're gonna find Alexandria, just like they did with finding the fucking prison. The last 5 minutes of the last episode.
I have 2 big predictions. They're not really predictions because you can just look. I bet they smell real bad.
Yeah.
It's more of an observation than it is a prediction.
Rick Grimes, that is a true statement.
Yes.
He Grimes.
They call him Grimy.
Well, I can tell you something that's going to happen.
Oh, God.
I think you're gonna find out that Eugene is not a scientist. If you've read the
Yes.
comic, you're going to find that out. He's just a hillbilly piece of shit that attached himself to a much tougher man's
I
and
think
told him he was a scientist, so the guy would protect
That's
him.
not a piece of shit.
I think Rick's gonna start telling really bad jokes to Carl.
Oh my god.
It's because it's shellfish, Coral.
Because in his head goes, Coral.
If you haven't seen that meme, see it.
It's
I
amazing.
said if. I'm not talking to you.
Oh.
And my biggest prediction, they're gonna on the road,
Yeah.
they're gonna come across it's something under a big mattress, and they turn it over and it's Norm from Cheers.
I wish.
God.
Okay, why
What the
can't
hell happened?
just let me write one season? Then they find George Wendt under a mattress.
God.
They find George Wendt, but he's like, there's no walkers on him. He's just sitting on a stool out in the woods, and he's still pretending he's on a set of Cheers.
I'm kind of glad that you all said that because I kind of expected that guy was just a dumbass. He doesn't have the makings of a scientist. He couldn't even fire a goddamn gun right.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed that in the comic book. I was like, what kind of fucking brilliant scientist has a mullet?
Yeah.
I was worried about
They
that.
did stay to the comic with that.
He's
Yeah.
a teacher.
They did, yeah. He's just a nobody.
He's a teacher. But that's a
Wow.
smart play, though. I mean,
Hmm.
here's the thing. The guy obviously has no survival skills. And it's a smart move to be like, hey, my biggest thing that I have going for me is that I'm really smart and I can make people believe that I'm smart.
Yeah, but he's not
That's
that
a smart
smart. He's just a talented liar.
I know, but here's the thing, though. The guy is not bad. The guy does not have like a black heart or anything like that. It's nothing that's malicious about him, and that's the only thing he's got going for him. I can't blame the guy for trying to survive.
There's
Eddie,
nothing
if I said-
malicious about him, yet he's fell in with a group just to survive.
Well, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean,
If you're like him and had no
Wait
survival
a minute,
skills-
Eddie, I could tell you right now that Hitler was a horrible person, and you would argue that he wasn't that bad.
I would not in a million years.
You would.
You
You
shut
would.
your
You
pie
just
hole.
you gotta take it. You just argue for the sake of arguing.
I don't. I just
I hate you and your kind.
There's
That black guy's black. Well, not really.
No, not really. He's a little tan. He's
No,
like mulatto.
because I actually.
Mahogany.
Yeah. Like you just fucking argue for the sake of arguing.
I don't, but there's a few things that I really have firm beliefs
Okay, everybody
on.
listen up while I subtly illustrate this point later on. I'm going to say something and Eddie's going to fucking argue with it just for the sake of arguing with it.
You'll probably find something that's a trigger.
Anyway, so here's some gaming news.
Uh-huh.
Jordan's got some gaming news for us this week. Jordan.
Yeah, I've got some gaming news, and I'm mad.
I'm mad, damn it. He's gonna have his Andy.
We're
I'm
off,
mad.
we're off to a great start.
All right,
I
Andy
don't
Rooney, go for it.
We liked it. Oddworld, New and Tasty came out this week, and for PlayStation 4, that's really super fun for anybody who played the original.
I played Abe's Exodus.
Then did you like it?
Yeah.
Then you'll love this.
Awesome.
I like
Talk
Dave's
about
Odyssey.
polish.
Oh,
Jordan,
yeah.
I got to see it in action, and seeing that game on high resolution 1080p and not 4K was actually really freaking incredible.
It's wonderful.
Because I mean, that was leaps and bounds for the PlayStation, the pre-rendered environments and all that. It was stellar, and seeing that translated into HD and
Fell in love with it all
Yeah.
over again. It's
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
and,
It's still hard.
mhm.
Still got really mad last night. I was at Joey's and died like 20 times in a row in the same spot. I was like, you fucking kidding me?
So is it just a remaster of the original?
Mhm.
Okay.
Controls are a little they're a little looser than the original because for a game like that, since it's a platformer, you need the D-pad.
Yeah.
But they use the analog, so
Yeah.
but it works. You get
I can
used
see where
to
that
it.
would be a little bit iffy.
Yeah, you need a D-pad for 2D games. You
And I just
do.
want to throw this out there. I am not opposed to classic games like that getting this kind of treatment.
No.
Because
I like it.
mean, some of the stuff that they have now, I hate to say it, and this, being an old man and all, the
yeah, try to go back and play Tomb Raider
mhm,
or Tenchu.
yeah,
Ugh.
but yeah, anything like that, getting the HD treatment is pretty good, except for Silent Hill.
Now, Jordan, you're a big fan of EA games, right?
Yeah,
Jordan loves EA.
the EA shit's short. I think this happened last
So
week
what?
or whatever.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
Just being their smarmy ass self. Like we don't play Battlefield.
No.
Yeah, I don't care. But a lot of people do. And like they pushed Battlefield 2 out last year to like Battlefield 4. I'm sorry, out last year to compete because they got to beat Call of Duty. 'Cause
Yeah,
Activision,
that's Call of Duty.
that's the one to beat. So they try to beat it, and it basically was a broken mess.
Uh-huh.
It's still a broken mess, and they got everybody's money. The sales have fallen off, and then the fucking CEO comes out and he goes, "There was no excuse for Battlefield 4 being released in that condition." 7 fucking months later, and he's like, "It won't happen again." Battlefield Hardline's coming out with wrong thing. Like buy it.
Right.
There's no-
I have,
Now-
hope-
now, are
I
you-
have hopes for that though, only because it's made by the people that make Dead Space.
I wish they'd be making another Dead Space.
What
No,
if Dead
it's just
Space
this-
was a grill?
What if it was?
No, it's just this fucking apologizing way after the damage has already been done, and then
Yeah.
like, well, we care about you. So
I was trying to make it look like they never, they were
Yeah.
like, why did we let this? It's like if Bill Gates said, Windows Vista should have never been released. Millennium Edition should have never been released.
No, it's just horseshit. And they're like, it should have never happened. Should have no excuse for that. Then why'd you
Developers.
fucking release it then?
Right.
I hate EA.
Jordan did the money symbol with his hands.
Yeah,
Like that old EA saying, "Get the fuck out."
Get the. You sure made it. That's a lot of money. And remember that old EA Sports saying, kids, get the fuck out of my building. So EA's shit. Ubisoft's getting just as bad.
Now, what's all this tangled CD web of shit going on with
CD
EB games and fucking GameStop,
It's
rather?
just pre-order. Yes, it hasn't been EA. Just pre-order shit.
Well, explain.
GameStop is essentially trying to get inside the development of the games.
Wow,
They're like-
that's a clusterfuck waiting to happen.
Yeah, like they're wanting to make.
Coming from a store that can't even put together a decent fucking midnight release program.
So essentially, the games are going to have stuff that are on the disc, but you will not be able to play it if you did not pre-order it.
From
I mean,
EA.
this has been
From-
going on for a while.
Yeah, but it's
it's always been little things like maybe
Yeah,
a gun
this is-
texture or a different
Yeah.
weapon or
Yeah.
an outfit.
a costume.
Yeah, that's okay. Who gives a
But
shit? I
lately,
understand.
like the big one happened. I think last week was there's a game Sega's making called Alien Isolation. It's supposed to capture the feeling of the original Alien movie, and it looks good. Ooh. But I haven't played it.
Well, that's like a lot of the online games with the whole free to play model. How if you're free to play, if you're not a paid character,
Fee to pay.
yeah, fee to
Yeah.
pay. You basically just get murderized.
That's what
everywhere.
EA does. EA does fee to pay. You pay for it, and then they still riddle it with
Right.
fucking microtransactions. EA. But the Alien Isolation one, and as a pre-order, it's like
Rockstar is getting just as bad about it.
everybody's getting bad about it. It's what's happening. And I'm an old man. I'm getting grumpy because when we bought a game, it had everything in it, and now shit's
Yeah,
being,
there were no patches or nothing. I mean, did you get that new Super Mario Brothers patch that they released 1.4? or whatever?
but like content's being held hostage.
It is,
and,
yeah.
and it's like with Alien, like and this is a scum move. Now games, the big games, everything has a review embargo. So until the game fucking comes, now at this point I'm waiting now because I used to be all about I'm pre-ordering this, I know, but now
Right.
I'm being forced to wait because like Alien, even though it looks good, it can fucking suck. But they want you to pre-order it, so you've already bought it,
Right.
so it doesn't fucking matter. They already got your money. But like there's a piece of story DLC that has the original cast from Alien in it. Of course, everybody's gonna want that.
Right.
And it's being locked behind pre-order. The other thing is the Batman Arkham Knight DLC. First, I
heard a smattering about that.
There's the Harley Quinn DLC that's pre-order. Then there's GameStop exclusive Red Hood story DLC. They keep that you can only get from GameStop. Now, who knows if you'll be able to buy it down the line? I don't know, but I'm just getting tired of this shit.
It might be okay, like if they take some of the pre-order stuff and you're eventually able to buy it. Like that would,
most of the stuff you are, but
sometimes you can do that. Like, but a lot of
this-
games don't. They lock that shit down. They don't.
But this is all just scummy stuff. It's like pre-order it so you can get the complete game.
Yeah,
Anybody
no, I
else who
understand.
wants the complete game and doesn't pre-order, you're gonna have to fork over $20 extra. That's shit.
It's like them taking a big section of like a big 2.5 hour section out of the center
Out
of the game and then locking it on pre-order. Like,
And Ubisoft shit is that
if you want to understand this game after you play it, you have to pre-order it first.
Ubisoft's stupid asses have like 8 different collector's editions from different retailers. So if you want everything, it's just fucking. It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
One thing that
And
really
Richard Dreyfuss.
Nice.
one thing that really upsets me with pre-orders anymore is Infamous 2. I'll say this. This did upset me. I did get the collector's edition of the game that had, extra costumes, blah blah blah, all
Right,
this
yeah.
extra shit.
Then they ended up selling them later on, didn't they?
Right.
Because I've got them all. Yeah.
hmm What bothered me about that is for Amazon, for Walmart, I think maybe Toys R Us, and for GameStop, there was separate DLC
Everybody,
stuff.
that's what's happening.
Yeah.
The reservation stuff. Now, see, I've heard it's not just GameStop wanting to get in with the development; it's also Walmart.
Oh God,
Oh,
help us
boy.
all.
And
Because then you'll have to buy 2 or 3 copies of a game.
Well,
if you
that's
wanna-
how how they make their fucking money.
And
That's
of
the big money coming from
Oh
that
yeah,
shit.
oh yeah. And publishers aren't going to be like, well, that's not right. Of course not.
well,
It's
I've said this before. I'll say it again. I miss the days of cartridge, console, play, not cartridge, or I'm sorry, disc, console, download, patch, update, maybe play.
Here's the old grumpy old man coming out of me. You know what extra costumes were called in my day, our day?
Cheat
Cheat
codes.
codes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Game Genie, Game Shark.
Not even
Not even that bullshit. Just it was in the book. It was
Cheat
in the
codes.
booklet that came with the
You
game.
want extra money in Grand Theft Auto? Cheat code.
Yeah.
Well, no, you never get extra money, but you could, But you
Right,
know what
yeah.
I mean.
I just don't understand, like, how come you can't just. I mean, here's the thing: you're forking over like 60.
Actually, I know exactly why it's being done. If you want to know.
I'm just saying.
Okay,
that.
continue.
It was rhetorical.
Continue. I'm sorry.
I just. Nah.
Well, that
I know, but my whole thing is you're still forking over like $60+. I mean, why can't you just get the whole fucking game anymore? I mean, that's the part that just drives me nuts because what's wrong with getting the whole game? You're already forking over a crap load of money.
It's an injustice to sell a complete product in the gaming world now.
Here's why this shit is being done more and more and more as every generation goes by. The video game market is growing. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, right?
Mhm.
However, the video game market is segmenting. This is what's happening. And
Segmenting.
it's fracturing.
Okay.
It's being divided amongst. I'm sorry. It's being I like games. And this is important. It's being fractured amongst tablets, mobile phones. The PC market is growing because there was a while there PC gaming was in the lull. It's coming back. 4K, 1080p, 60 frames per second or it's shit. Downgrade confirmed. In different consoles. The market is fracturing. You're not getting as much money as you were 10 years ago when it was pretty much just a few consoles.
Right.
That's where all the money was going. Mobile wasn't around. It's fracturing. They're losing people to different markets. So they got to make up for that by charging us more.
But the reason
And-
why mobile. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's just saying. by adding all these little things, DLCs, frivolous DLCs.
I say
season
we all
passes.
just boycott the consoles and PCs together and just start playing Android games.
I have a Wii, so I'm fine with because I get the whole game with a Wii.
Well, why don't you just play games on a toilet then?
I would if I could.
Eddie has a Wii. Wow, Eddie takes a violent shove into 2005.
No, I'm
Six.
Here's the thing. Recently, I've gotten back into playing Ocarina of Time, and it's what
Talk into the mic.
I can hear myself perfectly fine. Thank you. I'm trying not to yell into the mic.
I don't
because
know. If you can't fucking hear Eddie, it's probably
Because-
doing the audience a fucking favor.
See, I'm trying to like talk away from the mic because Jeremy's like, Eddie, you always clip. So I'm just trying to talk because I talk loud.
That's okay.
So-
You're barely registering, which is perfect. I think it's a great idea.
Anyways, but no, I mean, I'm done.
No, go. No,
I'm
go.
done.
No,
Nope.
go. What?
I'm gonna get some water. Keep going.
Whatever.
Wow, Eddie, thank you for that wonderful lull right in the middle of the show because you had to get up and get some water all butthurt. What a fucking asshole. That guy. This guy, right? Am I right?
Fucking guy.
That fucking
That
guy.
fucking guy.
So
I
basically,
didn't interrupt you. What were you going to say? I wanted to hear what you had to say.
I did it.
You lost it?
So essentially, the
The
whole
Wii's
point,
not viable anymore, though.
it's really not.
I enjoy it. It's fun. It has actually legit games, and I actually can play a full game.
That's like you having a Ford Focus and you pull up along some Lamborghinis and try to talk cars with people.
I did have a Ford Focus for a while. Now I have a Honda Fit. Fuck you.
That's the only time that line has ever been uttered. I have a Honda Fit. Fuck you. That's not anything. That's never been anything. So basically, the state of video games is slowly dying.
Well, Jordan and I have said this for a while. We believe that the video game industry needs to crash.
It does need to crash.
It just needs to stop for a little while.
So it can go back to its roots.
Yes.
So some of the indies will carry it on, and then we'll.
I hate to say it, man, because I'm sort of a purist with about a lot of stuff. Not in a, and sometimes in a little pretentious kind of douchebaggy way. But for the most part, man, I really don't want games to go back. Like, I love being able to play games that look fucking amazing. I mean,
we're not saying go back to like the 8-bit, you know. That
no,
type of
I
era.
understand, but
Yeah.
You're like I said,
Gyromite.
Oddworld's amazing. Outlast was really good, and those are made by really small studios,
Yeah.
and they're still great games.
like I've really enjoyed
That
going
you don't
back and
need to spend $100 million.
like I got a Tomb Raider, which was a wonderful game. I actually
Mhm.
picked that up on I didn't really pick it up. I got it from someone on PS4, and this is the early. This is the infancy of this particular console, this generation, and already it looks amazing. I think all they did was retexture a few things and up it to 60 frames per second,
And
and it looks fucking brilliant.
But initially, that game sold like a few million copies its first 2 weeks.
Tomb
and
Raider did.
Yeah,
I thought it was kind of a sleeper.
no.
No, it got
Really?
big, dude.
The first 2 weeks, which is where most new games make all their money.
Yeah, yeah.
At this point, I think I'm going to wait like 2 weeks, and then because at this point they go down within a month. Tomb Raider sold a few million copies, which is wonderful. It was still considered a flop initially,
Really.
after selling several million because they spent so much fucking money on it.
Well, I thought the game was wonderful.
It is,
and they got a new one coming out, right? They've already started working development on a new one.
But at this point, you can have super amazing games, but they don't sell what the publishers want them to fucking sell.
And you
the
never see them
the
again.
studios go under.
Right? Yeah.
I want to throw this out there too.
So
Right
Dead Space
now,
is dead.
With the current consoles, the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, they have got a major cushion under them right now. And the reason that I say that is PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, as they stand right now, have some very impressive graphics and whatnot.
Yeah.
With the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, you know, the starting games kind of look like the very end of the line stuff on PlayStation 3 and 360.
I see a difference. I see a big
Well,
difference.
that's what I was going to say. The reason that I say that is there's more polish, more texture, more like particle effects and everything.
Sure.
So they've got a really good cushion to start off.
Well,
on.
not to mention the frame rates.
Yeah,
I think was
yeah.
up on them too. They move almost ridiculously smooth, almost too smooth at some points.
Not as smooth as a good gaming PC.
So
Fuck the PC masturbates.
So because of the fracturing industry, as you were saying, is this the reason why like Steam has become such a huge thing? I mean, how would that?
Steam is just another distribution method.
I know, but it just seems like with Steam,
But it's
like,
cheaper
everybody's
because it's-
moving that direction.
Well,
Well,
everybody's
that's
moving to PC. Yeah.
Well, PC gaming is becoming more viable. The PC gaming market is going way up, whereas 10 years ago it was all consoles.
Yeah.
But
And
with-
now the PC master race has crawled out of their dark hole, and it's like,
Actually,
you
they-
console
Let's call it what it is. They've crawled out of their mom's fucking basement.
Yeah.
Basically, anybody who owns a good gaming PC is either single or fucking lives in their mama's basement, and their mom bought it for them because she's a rich cunt. I hate the PC those fuckers. I
want
wouldn't hate them so much if they didn't just sit around. Every time I've played a fucking PC game, like I don't like to play Windows has crashed. I don't like that fucking game.
blue screen.
Every game I downloaded from Steam just was I accidentally got a pirated copy of Windows has blue screened. Like it's
No, I want a good gaming PC because there's so much stuff I can get that's not on the consoles. But Steam, to answer your question, just distribution market, and because it's distributed digitally, it's cheaper.
yeah.
But because
So-
of Steam, though, I mean, with Steam, though, do you actually get the full game, or do they have DLC crap?
That's
Oh,
Steam.
you get both.
Yeah, it often does the same shit. But Steam has sales. But you also trade in like you save money, but then you got to deal with DRM.
Well, at the same time, a lot of time the PC games come out. Typically, they're usually released like when the game's especially with console games. Usually, by the time the PC version of the game is released, it includes all the
A lot of times,
a lot of
yeah.
the DLC and a lot of the content that
And
you
no
had to
one,
otherwise pay for on
no
consoles.
one cares. You know,
Yeah.
when nobody cares about it, then it comes out on PC.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna say though, Steam had that big sale. What was it like a couple
Bake
of?
sale,
they always have sales.
No, but they had like a big sale that was like I think like a month or two ago.
the summer sale.
Yeah, and it like free. I mean, you had like games that were like coming out that recently came out for like $1, and like people were like going
Yeah.
just going nuts.
The trade off with the price is like DRM. That's the trade off.
Like I would probably play a lot of PC stuff because I would just pirate all the games and get them for free. But like I wouldn't fuck with Steam or anything. But
you're a
don't you
pirate.
do that.
Arr.
All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for this episode. We are to Burg Nerds, and I am to Jeremy.
Tim.
Nice.
No, hang on. Wait a minute. You're not Tim anymore. Remember we talked about that.
I'm Lee.
Lee. Okay.
And since we didn't do this at the beginning of the show, I'm Eddie. We didn't do our intros. That was funny. I loved it.
We do what I say.
I know.
He's arguing with you.
I see. I fucking told you.
Arguing with you. So, what's your name?
I'm Jordan. What did your niece call me? Is it Jeffrey?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
I'm Joe.
All right, that's going to do it for us. I'm Jeremy. We're the Burg Nerds. We're fucking
Hey,
fuck this
Hogan.
shit.
You can't have DRM.
The Bird Nerds. We were the Bird Nerds. Just sitting around talking about stuff. The Bird Nerds. That was the Bird Nerds. Just sitting around talking about shit.